ladies and gentlemen, to Fan Appreciation Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a Japanese movie from 1989. That movie is The Guinea Pig 2, Android of Notre Dame. Now, I want to explain something. First of all, people have been absolutely insistent and incredibly impatient with me trying to get through the rest of the Guinea Pig series. I wanted to do them in order, but I'm skipping 3 and 4 for now and jumping right to the 5th movie, which for whatever reason is called The Guinea Pig 2. I do not understand the numbering system for this series, but I can assure you that Android of Notre Dame is the 5th entry in the Guinea Pig series. And beyond the fact that it's an entry in the Guinea Pig series, that it's the 5th one, yet still numbered as the 2nd for reasons I don't think I will ever fully understand, and the fact that it's called Android of Notre Dame, I know nothing else about this film, guys. I also know that it's just over 50 minutes long, so at least it's short. I have no earthly clue if this thing is going to be any good at all. The only way I'm going to find out if it is any good, though, and also to find out what the fuck it's even about, is if I shut up and I push play, and I'm going to do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out The Guinea Pig 2, Android of Notre Dame. My god, the music in these opening credits is incredibly annoying. I honestly, guys, cannot place why this music is so... Oh, wait, yes, I can. It's because this piano is coming off incredibly shrill and annoying. I can't wait for these fucking credits to end, guys. Okay, I normally am not one to question the acts of a lunatic fucking scientist, but what the fuck do any of the experiments he's doing to this corpse have to do with trying to save his sister's life? He tells us directly that his sister's got this, like, blood fucking illness that's causing her white blood cells to kill everything else inside of her body. Okay. What the hell does reanimating and playing around with a dead body have to do with that? And if it has nothing to do with it, then why the fuck is he monkeying with this, dead body when his sister seems to be the primary focus of his fucking life? I understand, guys, that we're not going to get much in this. Why is he popping that eyeball out? Anyway, I totally understand that we're probably not going to get a whole lot of, explanation here, but I would like at least a little bit of one. Okay, so now he's figured out how to reanimate a human head. I still don't see how this is going to help his sister any. His sister, depending on the scene, either has a heart condition or she has a blood, or she has some sort of a blood illness. I don't see what reanimating a body is going to do, unless it's somehow going to also fix either the heart or blood problem that his sister is suffering. Which I guess means he wants to turn her into, what, a reanimated zombie? That honestly seems a little bit worse than having either a heart fucking condition or a blood or a blood problem. Just saying. Okay, so I've learned something today, guys. When zombie heads get really pissed off, they apparently begin to randomly ooze green and orange goo from the holes in their heads. You learn something new every fucking day, and that was genuinely kind of sick. Well, guys, that was Guinea Pig 2, Android of Notre Dame, and that made no fucking sense. Okay. Yeah, that ending made no sense at all, but then again, since the whole fucking movie refused to make a lick of sense at all, I'm not surprised. I'm going to start with the writing. Where to even begin with the writing? Well, besides the fact that the story makes absolutely no fucking sense at all, the movie makes no effort at all to try to make this story sensible or logical. Essentially what we have a brother who cares so much about his sister that he's trying to figure out a way to fix her ailment, which starts off as some fucking kind of a blood, problem where her white blood cells are attacking her body, or as most people know it, AIDS. And then it slowly turns into a heart issue where her heart is beginning to die, which normally you don't need to do experiments for that. You just do a heart transplant. By the way, big spoiler on this. That is exactly how he cures her at the end of the film, is with a heart transplant. So we have an entire movie that builds up to nothing because because guys, you really can't end with. I mean, you can't start with experiments for 45 minutes and then end with a heart transplant that has nothing to do with any of the experiments that happened beforehand. Because for whatever reason, our main character, and I don't even remember his name, and his sister is never given a fucking name as far as I know, is trying to reanimate corpses, and that somehow is going to help his sister's blood or heart problems. So apparently zombieism is the only known cure for AIDS, and if your heart is dying, well, I guess that being a reanimated zombie is better than getting a heart transplant. I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense. The movie never makes any effort at even trying to make it make any sense. However, there is more to it than just this guy trying to cure his sister. There's also this guy who's trying to blackmail him by forcing him to pay $10 million for a corpse, so he can try to reanimate the corpse by taking its ear and pulling it out and hooking fucking wires to all of the tendons that are connected right to the meaty part of the ear here, because apparently we all have tendons there that make us hear, as opposed to what we were taught in school, and popping out and going and popping out the corpse's eye, and again hooking up a whole lot of wires and pulling out and going in, like pulling out the tongue. Apparently all of this is supposed to make the corpse hear, see, and speak. I don't know how you're supposed to speak when your tongue is being forced out a good foot, but I'm not going to question it. And that fails when the corpse begins smoking and falling to pieces. And then when he gets a second body, he basically skips all of that and just cuts off the fucking head and decides to reanimate the head, and that seems to work a lot better. I don't know how that is supposed to work better, but it kind of does. And of course the second corpse he gets is the person who's blackmailing him. Which again, and he gets the head by walking his blackmailer into his backyard and having saw blades come fly out and chop off his legs. No, I don't understand it at all. The movie fails to make any sense. Also, in terms of writing, do you want to know why it's called Android of Notre Dame? Because at one point our main character's talking to his sister and he just offhandedly mentions, did you know that the Hunchback of Notre Dame was actually an android? And even though I've never read the Hunchback novel, I don't think that Quasimodo at any time was a fucking android. Okay, I'm just taking a wild guess there, and it really just seemed to be as if the writer was just trying to shoehorn in this stupid fucking title. Now, the story makes no fucking sense. Our characters are all shallow and pointless because we have scientist, sister, blackmailer, and blackmailer's girlfriend, or possibly sister. Which, well, no, it's probably fucking girlfriend, because there is one scene that would make it really creepy if it was his sister. Anyway, and the characters all pretty much don't even have names. Oh, no, wait, correction. We have Keiko and Kato, which are the girlfriend and the blackmailer. That's it for character names. I do not know the names of the main character or his sister. His sister, I don't even think was ever given a fucking name over the course of the film. None of them have any genuine personality. None of them have given us a reason to care about anything which is going on in the story. Which I guess makes sense, since, well, the story itself makes no effort to make you care about what's going on in the fucking story. It is just that bad. And of course, when your writing is awful, of course the acting normally is equally as bad. And here, oh yeah, it's fucking terrible. The acting in this movie is awful. Nobody here is putting in any, real effort. Everywhere basically as everybody is either drab and lifeless, or they are overacting to the point of making the entire performance painful to watch. Mind you guys, there's a big difference between hammy acting and overacting, and the people in this movie jump far past hammy acting and go right to overacting, and it's fucking sad, okay? This thing honestly could have been salvageable if the people were just sort of, or if the people were just sort of hamming it up a little bit, but no. They basically opted to just go and dive directly off of the fucking cliff. And it really makes the entire movie suffer. Special effects. I want to talk about Foley effects because I talked about Foley. I talked about the use of Foley the last time I did a Guinea Pig movie, and I went into great detail about how they fucked up the Foley. Well, here it's worse. And I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details. I am going to say this, though. They basically were reusing a whole lot of the same god-awful sound effects which were used in Guinea Pig 2, Flower of Flesh and Blood. However, they also now have whenever our main character is cutting into human flesh, it sounds like someone is either crumpling or tearing at styrofoam, and it sounds cheap as shit. And it really brings the quality of the entire film down. The Foley effects here are the worst I've heard in any of the Guinea Pig films, and I really thought you would have to actively try to be worse than the Foley that was in Flower of Flesh and Blood. But this thing was able to accomplish that. Special effects. I'm going to say this: makeup effects are rather, decent, and as for the practical effects, that is kind of sort of a mixed bag. I'm going to try to explain. The blood here, I normally seem to have a problem when it comes to the consistency of blood in films. I really do not mind if the blood is a little bit watery, but I totally have a problem when your blood essentially is just slime, and that's what this movie went with, is just we don't have blood as much as, well, actually we do occasionally have blood. However, oftentimes if you're dealing with organs, the organs are just slathered in this nasty pink fucking slime, and it looks disgusting. And it also, I guess, was trying to hide the fact that the props are ultra cheap rubber fucking garbage. And that also is sort of a problem, guys, when it comes to practical effects, is everything here which is supposed to look like skin does not look like skin. It looks like fucking rubber. Our tendons all happen to look like shoelaces, which doesn't help much at all. Guys, this thing here was made on the ultra cheap, and it fucking shows. The only positive I can truly give this film falls into camera and lighting. Because, guys, I'm going to say this right now, the camera work here is solid, and the lighting here is really good. But everything else, in terms of acting, writing, special effects, Foley effects, practical effects, all of that fails. Well, at least with practical effects, most of them fail. And, well, the makeup effects are also fairly decent. I guess we can throw that into the positive pile. And the sound mix is okay, as long as we're not talking about Foley and we're not talking about the music, because the music is all shrill and irritating. And the sound effects which were added into the film, such as, say, like the sound of telephones fucking ringing, is also shrill and irritating. And I'm talking shrill and irritating even by the standards of a standard telephone ring. Guys, when all is said and done, am I able to recommend Guinea Pig 2, Android of Notre Dame? No. In fact, the only reason to even look at this fucking DVD is because it has the first Guinea Pig on it. And even though even though it is plotless, it has kind of a reason for being plotless, because it was trying to look like a snuff film. So, bravo. the very fact that the first film is completely plotless and is somehow superior to a film that tried and failed to give us a decent plot is not saying much. The very fact that Android of Notre Dame is a piece of shit and it's beaten out by a film with no fucking plot at all, except for, you know, a woman is being tortured by 4 fucking guys. That is sad. And yet, guys, that is the very case we have here. In fact, I would even say that Android here is even worse than Flower of Flesh, of fucking flesh and blood. Again, because the Flower of Flesh and Blood did not have a plot beyond its trying to be a snuff film, and it kind of succeeded there. So yeah, I cannot recommend this. Now, because this is Fan Appreciation Month, the Guinea Pig 2 Android of Notre Dame came off the Amazon wish list. The person who sent it in is Zachary, and I'm going to send a link. I'm going to put a link to his it is his sites.google.com page in this video's description. Please, guys, swing over there and check it out. And Zach, thanks, dude. I was really curious if the I guess the 5th film in the series was going to be any good, and it obviously wasn't. It's actually beginning to make me dread the very thought of looking at Guinea Pigs 3, and 4, or whatever the fuck numbers they opted to go with, since the 5th one is called the Guinea Pig 2 for reasons I still don't fucking understand. Anyway, guys, Zach, thank you. Please, guys, swing over there and check out his page. And you know what? It really has been a long time. I think I'm gonna go and rewatch the first fucking Guinea Pig. So, yeah. Yes, guys. With that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.